Are you recording too?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this menu pinapaitan, which happens to be like right at the corner of all the containers that you could choose from. It's like
Right. Did you get it?
no, no. Eh, sa Tagalog, sa amoy pa lang, ulam na.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Wait, hold on. Take two.
Oh. Welcome back. Two guys from two worlds. This is the FlipSide. New episodes uploaded on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify every week on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Now, your hosts, two guys who believe they're still relevant today, Jay and Noel. Are you recording too?
Yeah.
Okay. Well
Uh-huh.
then. Good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Flip Side with Jay and Noel. It is Wednesday, March the 29th over here in the US of A. And it's actually tomorrow of where Noel is. It's Thursday, March the 30th. Don't tell me what
I'm in
happened.
the future.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm in the future.
Welcome to the future, my baby.
That
Anyway,
movie's a real classic, huh?
Back to the Future.
Yeah, just
It
thinking
holds
about
up,
it,
huh?
like thinking about it just brings me back to good memories.
Okay. I don't know about that.
Oh, speaking of movies, I'll tell you something. You know, have you heard of that of Dune? D
Dune? Oh,
U yeah,
Dune.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Have you seen it?
You've seen it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, and then I've heard all about it. I have a cousin that's reading the book, and I also just found out that it's like really thick and like
Yeah.
6 books, like
It's
Harry
like,
Potter level of.
yeah. No, it's actually a lot worse than Harry Potter. It's about 6 or 7 books and it is thick, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I wasn't really a big fan of it to begin with, but the way they interpreted it in the movie, it's good.
Uh,
It's good. I mean, I'm not even, if I
mm,
say a little bit more in regards to the movie, it's kind of ruining it already,
mm.
but you definitely need to watch it.
I've seen all the spoilers. I've heard all the backstory and
Got it.
everything. But here's the thing that I didn't catch up on to. Is it older than Star Wars? Did Star Wars sort of get the idea, or did George Lucas sort of get the idea from that movie?
I don't know, to be honest with you, because Star Wars, I've never really heard of Dune until recently, right before the movie came out. So if it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
older,
Yeah. So something like that. So whichever. But the point what I was trying to say was I saw like the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie, and walking into it, I knew that it was going to be a bit of a, like a bit of a like a little too much for my throat. So sort of.
which one?
So
Dune?
Dune, yeah. I just knew that it was going to be huge and that, my throat couldn't take it. So I had to pause and do a little bit more sort of like I'm sort of like I was, I was telling Tin here yesterday that I was like preparing for it, like preparing my mind to get into it. Like I wanted to find out all the backstory before I get into it because I know that there's going to be a lot
Right,
that I'm going to miss.
right.
And it's building up all this anticipation, and I'm looking forward to watching the movie, but at the same time I'm like I'm scared to watch it and not get it and just be frustrated, so it's sort of ruining the experience for me, but at the same time it's building up on it, so we'll see
Where are
we'll
you
see how it
watching it?
goes.
Are you watching it online
Yeah,
through HBO
yeah,
or what?
yeah, and it's been out for I don't think it ever came out in theaters here, but yeah, it's either HBO or Amazon Prime. I don't remember. So one of my
Right.
it's on one of my browsers now.
Yeah,
Oh, there, HBO Go Asia.
yeah. So you have a subscription to that HBO.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
basically saw it too. I don't think it came out because it actually the release date I think was like during the pandemic or towards the end of it. So
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
so it went
oh,
straight to HBO Max basically, and that's how they premiered it,
oh,
and it was
oh,
huge,
oh, oh.
huge. People were having issues on premiere date. See,
Oh, because it was just flooding.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Because here,
it,
if they say the premiere date is April 1st, it will be
mm,
available for streaming at 12:01 a.m. April 1st.
mm,
You
mm,
know,
mm, mm,
so throughout the morning time and whatnot, I
mm,
mean,
mm.
yeah, throughout the morning time, everybody was just flooding it, I guess. So it kind of shut down, not shut down. Um, it caused an
Yeah,
issue with HBO Max,
right,
with their
right.
network.
Yeah, so it's a bit overwhelming to think that it's 3.5 hours long, and then it's like in Star Wars proportions, and
Right,
I did
right.
you know that there was an 80s version of this movie too?
I did.
So they
I did. Oh,
yeah,
again,
so
I didn't learn about it until I started watching this one because I did a little bit more backstory.
yeah. So I usually do the backstory stuff after the movie if I like it, but 10
Yeah.
minutes in, I know I'm going to like it. I love the sound that the effort that they put on the sound of the
It's
movie.
actually it's actually quite amazing how they balance. There's a couple of scenes there with the big ships coming in, and um, typically it's something like that. Like in Star Wars, the base on it is ridiculous, you know.
Mm,
And
mm.
I like how they didn't make it sound too explosive. It's kind of like what do you call that? Like
There's like a hum to it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like sealed, you know. And it
Muffled.
sound yeah muffled. Yeah, it sounded
Mm.
really really good. So I was pretty impressed by it.
Uh-uh. Right. So that's just my latest gig, like
Yeah,
the latest thing that I'm sort of crawling into. It's
right,
just
right.
funny. It's just funny sort of watching myself or observing myself how I just didn't want to like I don't know. I've never really done this to a movie before.
Hmm.
Usually if I like it, I like it. I just keep watching. But I just knew that another one that the one that got me the idea to do this was on another movie. It's at the tip of my tongue. It's that movie with that guy from Driver something where he goes to another ah freak.
Right.
Oh, Blade Runner, like
Oh,
2049 or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of those movies where it was a good. I liked it. It was epic. It was like but I just felt like barfing because it was just too much.
Right, right.
And I had to watch those YouTube videos about the ending of 20 Blade Runner explained. It just
Yeah, I
felt
hated those shit.
stupid.
It's annoying. It's so annoying how they do that. And movies nowadays, though, it's pissing me off because they're ending it in an open ended way. So many of the movies
Yeah.
nowadays, you know what I mean?
Maybe I think that's what was yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
understand
It
why
just
can't they
makes you
just
feel
end the movie where it actually gives you the either it's something bad at the end of the movie,
yeah.
meaning it didn't work out, or it worked out.
Yeah. There's
Close it up.
closure. Yeah.
Yeah, closure.
Yeah.
So
So
many
that's the
open ended
thing.
ones.
So I felt stupid, and then at the same time, like I missed out on so much like lines and details. And then the other one was the open-endedness of it, or the what was that about? Like what was the ending all of this? Like no closure. So
Right,
so I said, not gonna let this on a movie. I'm not going to let this happen to me on a movie again. So when
right.
I discovered Zune, got into it, I was like, I wanna, I wanna arm myself with all this information before I get into it. So I'll
There's
let you know on
this
the next episode what happens.
there's this one movie that we just rented on Amazon because we don't really go to the movie theaters that much anymore. We
Mm,
just because we like to watch a movie to comfort our own home. Plus, the
mm,
movies have gotten
mm.
expensive, to be honest with you. But we rented this movie. I'm trying to figure out what that was. Um, I apologize.
What,
Uh,
Frozen,
no, 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 no.
Little Mermaid,
No, it's an actual movie that I can't remember what it's called. I apologize. Anyway,
something
but
for the
it
whole
just
family, the kids.
yeah, it's a family movie. It just sucked. Hold on one sec. Malaya, What was that last movie that we saw? What was that last movie that we saw? Over here, the one that sucked. The one that the ending was horrible. Okay. So
What was it?
this year's Oscar nominated movie, actually, Best Picture was The Whale. Or was it the Best Picture? I don't know. But Brendan Fraser won Best Actor for it.
The Whale?
The Whale. You need to watch that. It's a really, 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 really good movie. I mean, you know who Brendan Fraser is, right?
Yeah.
The guy, the mummy,
Yeah.
Biodome, or what? Not whatever, not Biodome.
Yeah.
Encino Man.
Gosh, for a second I thought he passed.
No,
He
because he was
was
gone for a while. Hollywood
okay.
shunned him, but that's a whole different story for some reason. But
Okay, okay.
he's been coming back,
Okay.
and his performance on this movie, The Whale,
Oh,
unbelievable. Where he's just it's one scene, one set. It's like his apartment because he's a 600-pound guy or a 500-pound guy that's just only has like a week to live supposedly.
oh, yeah. Oh, that's him.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I didn't
him.
even
And
recognize him. I think I saw the trailer. Yeah.
the backdrop of the backstory is the whole movie is set from Monday to Friday because he supposedly has like 5 days to live, right? And
Okay.
he's making amends with his family, with his daughter or his strange daughter, his friend, whatever.
Oh,
Um, the movie is amazing. I kid you not. The actors, the
oh,
actresses, everybody, perfect. Best
uh-huh.
actor, well deserved.
Uh-huh.
The
Uh-huh.
ending, fucking horrifying. I It pissed me off because I get. Have you seen it?
No.
I don't know
I've
if I
heard
should
it.
say anything.
I think I saw the trailer, but not no, go ahead. It doesn't ruin it for me. Well, I don't know for people
Well,
that are listening, but
basically, it's just literally blackout. That's it. He was
they just
crying and then blackout. Doesn't give an explanation of what happened to him. Doesn't give an explanation if he lost weight all of a sudden and survived. Doesn't give the audience the explanation if maybe he died. Not. That's it. Literally, he's crying, talking to his daughter, and then blackout. Black.
so
Pissed
it's not
me off.
it's what was the whole point of the story about his relationship with the daughter?
The whole point is this obese guy who's trying to make
Yeah.
amends with his estranged daughter, make amends with
Right.
his
Yeah.
exchanged wife.
Yeah.
He's got this friend that's kind of caring for him, but at the same time enabling him, and it's
Yeah.
hurting her and it's hurting whatever. It's a lot of emotions, and
Right. But
my
the
wife
whole
and
thing
daughter were
is
in tears.
but the whole thing is that it was about amends with the relationship. So once that was put together and that they were talking, okay, lights out, we're done.
Basically. And the premise was he's supposed to have like a week left to live, right? First scene, first day, Monday. That was it.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the week, on Friday or Saturday, whatever the hell they ended it on, all of a sudden, boom, blackout. Like, okay, that's it. It's done. I'm
Well,
like,
that's what I mean. So it's nothing about his weight. It's really more about his relationship. And once we cover that
well,
plot, or we,
his
we
weight is the biggest factor.
that was just a distraction. But the whole thing was really about the relationship they were trying to rebuild or build. Once that's in, we're done. Okay,
Right.
we're going.
But I mean, it's annoying because what? So throughout this whole movie, one of the big things is, did he die? He's going to die in a couple of days. Yada yada yada. Now, did he die or did he live? Maybe he decided to attend one of Anthony's classes and survive, lose like
It
300 pounds.
it's another way of saying it doesn't matter what happened next. What's important is that they started talking again.
Oh, fuck that. I mean, come on. It's it's insane. I know they left it as another open ended because maybe there's a sequel where he actually
Yeah.
survived and loses 500 pounds and he's all spelt and hunky dunky and playing Encino Man again.
Maybe for the first few movies that were like that, it was fine. But once all of them start ending that way, it becomes like a cop out sort of
Yeah.
a weak ending because it's like make up your mind, choose an ending.
Right,
Don't just
right.
leave it open and hanging.
Imagine, have you ever seen the movie Far and Away with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, his then wife?
Yeah, no, no, no. I don't think I saw it.
So it's
I know it's a
basically,
popular movie, yeah, but and
yeah,
no, if you
it's
say, did you say who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
Tom Cruise
Who
and
is?
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, no, the only one I didn't realize that they made two movies that were both of them starring. The other one, the only one that I saw was Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide. Of course, you saw
Yeah.
that one. A bunch of perverts, man. No, but Far and Away is like a perfect example of like ending a good movie, right? So it's this Irish couple, once rich, once poor, who lived in
Mm,
Ireland, and all of a sudden got together um, to America during the migration time at that time to get the American dream, get land, live a happy family, whatever. The end of the it's like a 3 hour long movie of the whole struggle of getting here, and then at the very end of it, they got what they the goal. The goal was to get land here, and they got it.
mm,
So the
mm,
movie ended properly. None of this
mm.
like 2 hours of this obese guy trying to make amends to his family. People, viewers are crying. My wife and my daughter was like, and then blackout. Done. Shot it.
And then yeah, yeah, those are traumatic experiences. Come to think of it,
Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying. Um. Anyway,
yeah, it's almost disrespectful to the audience, isn't it?
yeah, it is actually because it's like it makes you ask a question like, "What happened?" Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Aside from what happened, it was like, no, I'm just thinking, what like, what's the whole point? Why would you want to end your movie without any closure? And like you said, uh, it keeps you open ended and there's no. Is it like it's like a last second decision to be mysterious or to no? I mean, like or can you imagine if they ended Titanic any other way? Or there is an alternative ending to Titanic, right?
So, I don't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. They shot it.
well, there's so many speculations to that. So, all right, I'm going to ask this question. If you guys have any comments, comment below. So, at the end of Titanic, right before Jack
Mm,
dies, you know how Rose ended up on that big, giant wooden door
mm,
on the ocean floating?
mm.
You mean to tell me both of them couldn't have fit on that giant door to float? Really?
Yeah,
That's a huge door. Okay. If
yeah.
if this was the door, okay, and this is Rose, that's how it is, like that.
Mm.
Okay. Obviously, you could put another person on there.
Yeah, they would both float, but they would both be underwater. I think the whole idea, and I agree with you, but I think the whole idea with James Cameron's thing is if they were both on the door, it would float, but it would be completely underwater with just one person on top. At least she wouldn't freeze to death like,
Well,
the other her boyfriend.
being being a little bit submerged into the freezing water will
Mm,
definitely delay your death process as opposed to being sunk in, you know? Oh,
mm.
see, look at this. Now my wife is starting to copy Christine. She made me she got dinner for me,
Yeah, it's just
got my she brought me ketchup and she brought my habanero sauce. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
this is
that looks
an indirect home cook challenge, home
right.
cooking challenge.
she we actually when I called you to wake you up, we were at the grocery store to
Oh,
yeah. And she made some shrimp burger patties. Looks good.
wow.
Yeah.
Shrimp burger patties. Whew.
Damn, that looks good, yeah. Anyway.
Sounds
Um
like a heart attack. I woke up this morning thinking that, gosh, Jason and I can each one have a heart attack like at any second now. Any second. Like
Really?
we're at that age where
We're creeping around death's door.
we're on the bonus round, Like
Mm-hmm. No, I
I
wouldn't say we're in the bonus round yet. We're still in line to get on the metro.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then it's so crowded to get in the metro that we're creeping into the door a little bit. Oh, that's good fries.
Yeah.
Um
Is this spicy?
nah, no, not really, but I'm about to put some major habanero sauce in it, baby. I
That's
like my
good.
food spicy.
Every time I go to the carinderia now, dude, like it has to be spicy. I love their in the carinderia there's this
The
Bicol
vinegar?
Ex Bicol Express. No, no, no,
Oh,
Bicol Express. That's in coconut
the spicy
something
coconut, whatever.
gata. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That thing is
Either that
so bad for you, but it's so good.
bad. It's bad
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, the gata.
Uh
I think it's horrible for your heart, man. That's like a clog your artery type of thing.
oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was good for you because it's coconut. But anyway, and then the other one is spicy chicken something. It's not chicken curry. It's a Filipino dish.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just spicy chicken that's so good. It must be made from gata also, I think. But so good.
Everything made in
So
gata, it's good, but it's so bad for you.
it's either those two that I eat or adobo, chicken adobo.
I haven't tried it yet.
Have you heard of
Um,
pinapaitan?
yeah, I love that too. It's also bad for you.
That's gotta be bad for you, right?
Yeah.
But I was looking at the menu yesterday and I was looking at pinapaitan, and usually I really like it, but I just realized because usually when I eat in the carinderia, it might be, under a street light or, it's really dark. You don't really notice that you're just up for the smell.
Yeah.
But last night I was looking at the pinapaitan, it's in green. The sauce is the soup is green.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, this pinapaitan is from the innards of
Innards
the baboy, right? Of the
of the
of the
pig.
pig.
Yes. Yes. It's like
And
chopped up and
but this is
whatnot.
not just innards cleaned out. This is innards including the like is that bile or whatever that acidic thing is inside the
The
innards?
tripe.
Is that what it is? Tripe?
I think it's the tripe. I don't think it's the bile. I don't know. Actually, I'm not really sure.
Or whatever it is, it's not just mapait. What's mapait? It's not just bitter.
Bitter.
It's not just bitter, it's also almost like one more drop and it's already acidic, right?
Oh, it's very acidic, especially if
It's
you have
very
gout. That thing is bad for you, man.
yeah, but it smells so
It's
good.
so good though. It's so good. It's not even funny. Especially if you have like every time I eat that, I don't know, it's like rice kryptonite, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
So
that and Bicol Express. Anything really. Bicol Express, you gotta eat rice with that.
I make my order at the carinderia, and this menu pinapaitan, which happens to be like right at the corner of all the containers that you could choose from. It's like, come here,
Right.
just have a little taste.
Did you get it?
No. No. Eh, sa Tagalog, sa amoy pa lang, ulam na.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're just smelling it and you're already like, mhm.
Let me ask you something. When you
But
eat at Karen's, like
mm,
magkano pag dalawa kayo usually? Like per dish? Because you know how it's cost per dish, right? Or does it
yeah,
differ per dish, the price?
just a little bit like 20 pesos, 30 pesos difference per dish. The gulay, the vegetables are usually cheaper for sure. And
Like
then,
for example, like an order of adobo, pork adobo.
yeah,
It's
we're
like
looking
what,
at
20 pesos
50 pesos, about a dollar or 75 cents or to a
per
dollar maybe.
per serving.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah. So
Wow.
if there's two of us, with maybe some drinks, it never goes beyond. It shouldn't go beyond more than 250 pesos. That's one, two, four,
$5.
$5. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
but that's the carinderia. it's a little bit of a gamble. They say that, well, but I think this one is a good one. If every year in the Philippines, though, not all carinderias are made equal. Like you never know the water source and where you could still get sick. But I think we're pretty good at keeping our
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on like how your stomach handles it, really.
sanitation. Yeah. So carinderia is actually, I think, a little safer than, eating at fishbowl stands, for example, or any of
Well,
those
yeah.
street. Yeah. So don't want to scare you, but
Oh, I'm
yeah,
not. I
you
mean,
never
every
know
time I
the
go home, like I said,
sanitation.
I'm all over it. I mean, I'd much rather go to a Karen. I'd much rather go to Karen's than an actual restaurant. I'm sorry, that's just my preference.
So when
You know,
Tin is not in the mood for cooking, we go to Karen's. She actually wanted to go to like the mall yesterday, and I was like, let's just eat at the carinderia. Let's
why at
just
the
eat
mall?
at Karen's. No, we were already at the mall, and then we just ended up grabbing, like a quick bite on the way out, but not like a really sit down dinner
Right.
thing. And we just ended up, and then on the way to the Carinderia, we would also be passing the Talipapa, which is the market.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, do we cook or do we eat at Karen's? Karen's, you know?
I'm
And
telling you,
then,
this
and then
is
she, and then she
sorry. Go ahead.
cooked at home.
After eating it. Oh, god damn, that's spicy.
mm.
Oh, oh. I put some habanero sauce on the ketchup.
uh,
Oh my god, my forehead. I can feel it sweating.
Wakes up your soul.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, there's a there's a place not too far from here. It's actually good. I don't know if they're it's a Filipino restaurant. It's a turo turo type of thing.
Mm.
But
Mm.
it's expensive though. It's just I don't know where the hell these Filipinos get the nerve to like charge. Um. Oh, yeah. There's this one in DC. It's
Mm.
a uh another
You
Filipino
think they
restaurant.
should, you think they should be charging Carinderia prices?
No, but I mean not like the,
What's the,
there's
wait,
this
hold
place
on.
in DC. I can't remember.
Let me wrap my head around this one that's near you that you're complaining about how
Oh yeah,
expensive it is. What kind
yeah.
of ambiance are they in?
So
Maybe
when you
that's
walk
what
in,
you're paying for.
I mean it's just regular street benches on the inside the restaurant, right? Or just little benches or tables.
Oh,
And imagine a Chinese buffet. That's how it's set up.
yeah. Maybe rent is really high in the location that they're sitting at.
I don't give a crap, man. How where the hell you get off charging $8 for one barbecue stick? I'm
Oh,
sorry,
damn, that's bad.
dude. Come on, man. And then typically you're
But
allowed to like order, if
but
you want to have
meat
sabaw
is really expensive here now, though. I don't know
in the
how it's going
Philippines.
on there. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well, yeah, here too. The cost of
yeah,
meat here has gotten high.
yeah.
Like
If,
how? Why is it also, by the way, in the Philippines? Why is chicken more expensive?
oh, I don't know. It's not. It shouldn't be. It's not. It's
Or
usually
maybe back
chicken,
then
pork,
when
and then beef.
although beef is what's more expensive.
Yeah, yeah,
Has it
yeah.
always been like that or what?
Hold on. So yesterday, I think it was $16 a kilo, eight
Sixteen
hundred
dollars or
pesos.
pesos?
60, I just calculated 800 pesos. I think a kilo. Yeah, 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 I think that's what she said. 800 pesos a kilo for I'm not sure if it was chicken, pork or beef, but something was really expensive that didn't make sense to buy anymore.
Jesus, that is insane.
Do you guys how do you guys charge for meat? Is it kilo?
It's
What,
about
what
a
do you
pound.
by the
It's about a
pound?
pound. Yeah. Beef has gotten pretty expensive here. Like
Yeah.
steak, even the for some reason the ribs, dude, like the beef ribs. It's
Mm,
insane. It's like so there's roughly about what? Maybe 2.5 pounds in a kilo,
mm,
roughly.
mm, mm,
Um,
mm,
for a pound of beef right now, like a good decent steak.
mm.
Well, about $28 maybe.
Jeez.
Yeah. And that's usually 250.
Yeah.
How many ounces in a pound? That's the question.
You notice every time we're talking about prices and weight and everything, we get all caught up with, the conversion rate.
Okay, so for a 16-ounce steak, if you buy it
Uh,
at the store, like at Costco, for example,
uh,
so you can actually buy two 16-ounce steaks for
mm.
$25. It's about $25.
And here I am complaining that it's $16 here.
Well, it's still more
Right.
expensive here. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah, yeah.
But if
So it
you
doesn't
buy, you
really.
know how those beef ribs that
Mm,
that Korean people like to put on the grill.
mm.
Here, it's expensive. It's like $18 to $20 for a half a pound.
Mm.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But anyway, yeah. So everything's just going up, all the prices, location. So anyway, going back to your Filipino restaurant that you're complaining about. So you must be paying. That's what I'm just trying to say. You must be paying for the ambiance, the location,
No, I mean
rent, or the
it's not.
ingredients.
It's like walking into a Max fried chicken.
Eh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's not in a nice neighborhood. It's like an hour away from her, or from here.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
not in a very nice neighborhood. Although it's a newer building,
Is it
but
in a mall?
yeah, well, I guess you call it a
Is
strip mall, like one of those
is
in classic ball
oh
area. You know what I mean?
mm.
Um,
High traffic?
yes, high traffic. That I
So
think that's why they're paying for that.
high rent. Yeah.
Well, no, rent is
Yeah.
not that bad to be honest with you, because the neighborhood itself is just ridiculous. Um,
Yeah.
but there's also one in DC. Like I said, they charge like for 14.99, you get 3 sticks of barbecue.
That sounds
Where
funny.
where the hell you get off like 3 skewers? Okay, three.
Yeah.
And then if you order, oh, that purple patch. That's the name of that restaurant in DC. If you buy an
Uh,
appetizer for lumpia, okay,
uh, uh,
it comes with maybe 5 small pieces,
uh.
like 14.99. Maybe it's it's
Well,
it's annoying.
what do you call that food that you can't get all the time? It's not regular food.
Whatever.
Ingredients must be hard to come by kind of thing. So
No, no, it's just wanting to be bougie and whatever.
it's
It's so annoying, you know.
misplaced, huh?
Yeah. Um,
Misplaced.
but
But yeah,
anyway, listen.
what's going
We're
on?
we're actually about to get cut short, so we're gonna take like a quick 10-minute break so I can like chow on this while it's still hot. Uh, but when we get back, I sent you a link, and I want to talk about this because it's been on my list for like the past 4 days. It's how Africa, a big section of it, the
Yeah,
northeastern section of it, is
yeah,
literally peeling off the continent.
yeah. The
So
real estate property taxes must be going down there.
you think,
Now's the time to buy land.
yeah, it's literally fall off your plate type of thing. All right, we'll be
Yeah,
right back.
I'll look into it. Welcome back, Balakubak.
Welcome back, Balakubak. Thank you for giving me the time to devour that thing. That was delicious. See, for a family of four, that was like what, $10 price point, or $15, and that's good. And that was a really really good. I don't know what that was. What? What's so funny?
And it's just funny how we're, complaining about this. I mean, that we're having this conversation now. Like, of course, talking to you, somewhere in the back of my mind, you're still my high school friend, right?
Hmm.
And we're talking and complaining about prices and bitching about our family and how much everything is going to cost. It kind of like it's a bit jarring for my head. Like one part of my head is like, let's talk about high school and girls and you know and then on the other hand, it's like, man, these prices are all like, man, it's so expensive.
Well, I'm sure you remember this because I know you used to love
I
this,
just
and I
want to,
found it at the store the other day.
just,
Remember
I
this?
just want to go back and talk about Taco Bell, man.
Remember that? Mamba.
Mambas. Yeah,
You
yeah,
remember these?
Yeah, but I was never into those. Never
I thought you
into
were.
like
Or was it Charleston Chews that you were into?
what? Nah,
Charleston Chews. I think that was the one. I don't know. I can't remember. But
nah.
I found a bag. I found it in the store, and then I bought a bag of it, and like,
Oh, I was. It's that and like gummy bears. I was never really into gummy bears either. Just
shut
anything.
up. You don't
Uh,
like gummy bears?
it's not that I don't like it, but if you
Friendship
had one,
over.
if you offered me one, I'll take it. But I'm not going to have a handful kind of thing.
Hmm.
Just one of those like one is enough for the day kind of thing.
I thought this was being gonna be a clever idea. Eating this right now, but it's horrible. I forgot how chewy it is.
Exactly. I'm not. I like things cracking in my mouth, kind of corn nicks and
Oh, okay. That doesn't sound right, bro.
peanuts. Right. I knew you were gonna go there, but you know what I
Anyway,
mean.
so
Yeah.
going
So I
back
was
to them.
I was doing two things while you were munching on your burger.
Hmm.
I was too lazy to read the freaking article that you sent me, so I had to watch it on YouTube. And then while I was listening to, this report that Africa is splitting into half and,
Hmm.
scientists alert a terrifying new ocean is forming in Africa. While I was listening to that, I was trying to, connect my my camera, which I wanted to surprise, and all of a sudden save the day with my camera being hooked up to Zoom, but wasn't able to work it out.
Still nothing.
Nada. So
So
right,
anyway,
but I think the amazing thing about this thing that you picked up on is that it practically happened overnight. Can you imagine being one of the farmers and then you're going up to check on your crops and you're like, wait a minute, that wasn't
where's
there
it at?
before.
All of a sudden, there's an ocean in your backyard.
Yeah, well,
You
not
know,
quite yet, but this
it's
big
getting there though.
this hole on your field, and then you're like, I wasn't there last night.
But like you said, all of a sudden, we wake up and there's this 30 to 50 mile long crack in the middle of this place.
Yeah.
So basically, if this is Africa, for example, it's the top corner to the right that's actually
Mm,
peeling off, you know,
mm.
and it's causing a big rift on what's going on over there.
Yeah. Are
Now, these
people
other,
like jumping over to the other side? Like, I want to be on this side before it gets any wider.
it's it's going to be a new country supposedly. Who knows? I don't know, but now their surrounding countries are trying to like vie for who wants to own it, who wants to claim it, so to speak. You
Oh,
know, because
is
it could be Nubian supposedly or Somalian or whatever, but I don't really know. But my point is that place is kind of falling apart as we speak,
mm,
and it's scary because if that's happening there, it's supposed to be happening to California as well, where the San
mm.
Andreas fault is.
Right, right.
Can you imagine just California all of a sudden drifting off?
Bye, guys.
Yeah. See you later.
Jump over, guys, before it's too late. You want to be on the good side.
Next thing you know, it'll be right next to Hawaii. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. I
Although,
don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, but they did mention that it happened practically overnight, the big crack. But you
right,
know, the water is probably not going to get there anytime soon. But you never know. Well,
never
I don't
know.
know.
Who knows how nature
I,
works? Because like I think the last 2 years alone, there has been significant amount of cases for sinkholes.
right. Yeah, I was about to mention that too. Yeah. Yeah.
There's this one giant one in Florida, somewhere in Florida, that literally sank an entire neighborhood down, and it just ate it up. You know,
Mm.
it's so. What's weird is the perfect circle that it created on the floor.
Mm,
You know, like how did
mm.
that even happen to begin with? Was it natural or what? Who
Well, how
knows?
does it happen? Well, what I know about before I tell you about sinkholes, our kitchen sink here is also falling apart. Like literally, like you could be washing dishes and then a piece of cement could just come off and hit your toe. Which it
What do
has.
you mean?
It's hurt someone already. Just like the tiles are cracking off, and then I'll send you a picture one of these days. But like it's falling off, like just falling off.
Wow.
Not
Was it?
consistently, but you could feel that things are getting loose. What I was trying to get at is that the cement that they must have used was, a bad mixture. This is like I think this house is about my age, 44 years old.
Mm,
So things are beginning to fall apart, and I guess they scrumped on or they scrimped on the cement when they were building the the countertop for the
yeah.
kitchen. So it's
Oh,
beginning to
is the
fall apart.
countertop cement?
Yeah. That's what's falling off, along with some tiles. So you know how there's a shelf, and then the cement
Yeah.
countertop goes a little bit over. That's the part that's falling off, like the 4 inches, the 3 4 inches from the everything else is fine. It's that part.
It's the
It's
hanging
that
part, basically.
it's the hanging part from yeah. So those are the ones that are falling off on our toes every now and then. And I'm talking about like a foot and a half has already sort of chipped off, here and there. You put all those together, it's about a foot and a half. I should have
Jesus.
brought one with me. I was just in the kitchen a while ago.
Are you guys planning to
And,
like get it fixed or what? Or do it yourself?
once there's a budget, I'll probably get it fixed. I don't think I can do that myself. It's
I
a
mean,
bit
there's
of
always
work.
YouTube, man. YouTube is like the best way to learn stuff.
No, but it's not just a fixer upper. It's one of those things where if we're going to get it fixed, knock the whole thing down, start from scratch and sort of remodel the whole thing kind of.
Yeah, that makes sense. That
It's
makes
it's not
sense.
just a patch that you want to fix up, which
Oh,
reminds me, I also saw this documentary recently, something about the cement that the Romans used, which was the reason why the Roman Colosseum cement is like really hard. There's something to do with the water that they use. They must have used salt water, something to
mm.
that effect. Where was I coming off from this one? What were we talking about? Oh, the
Sinkholes.
sinkholes. So the little that I know about it is that from ice age, from the ice age, where you know how ice sort of formed underneath how do I explain this? So ice formed underneath this piece of land, and then when that ice melted, it left a hole inside. Now,
I
but
don't
the
think
thing
that's the
is,
case for all of it, though.
that's the one that I know as far. That's their theory as far as because there's a whole uh cave system of sinkholes basically in Mexico that's like that, and that's the theory that they have with that particular side of Mexico.
So
Now,
it's funny. It's funny you say that. Just to real quick, I just sent you a link.
mm,
Um, this was in Chile.
mm,
I mean, it's 656 from top to bottom. Okay, 656 feet. That's
mm,
pretty deep. I'm not
massive
talking about the
sinkhole
width or the circumference of the circle of the sinkhole itself. It's
just
literally from the
discovered in
ground to the
Chile.
bottom. You know,
When did this
it's
come out?
I don't know,
Oh
but
wow, that's like practically perfectly round. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, and it's in the middle of nowhere too. Well, it's not in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of a mining place in Chile, but it's
656 feet from top to bottom. Yeah.
correct, and it's 55
100.
feet wide. I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
100.
105 feet wide.
Right. 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 So that's one of the theories that I know about how these things form. But for what puzzles me about this neighborhood that you say is, didn't they check before they started building?
That's the question there because nobody really could answer that. Up to
Mm,
now, it's supposedly an open-ended
Well, this article that you
investigation.
sent me was last year, August last year.
Oh, see, it's
Yeah.
it's insane, because who really knows what's underneath us? You know what I mean?
Where are you getting all your news, the news that you're sending me? These are articles from last year.
Well, it's just like things that pop up on my feed that kind of interest me. I like reading about this stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
and whatever your news source is, it's recycling old news.
oh yeah, basically.
See what Jason's going to be interested in this time.
So, well, here's like the thing. One of the things that I've been reading and watching on late as of late,
Mm,
um, is this the largest cave in the world. It's in Vietnam. It's Son Dong, I think is what it's called.
mm.
It's so big that you could fit the entire what's that tower in Dubai, the Burj Khalifa or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's huge. It's an
Okay.
undiscovered um place underneath it's in a cave in Vietnam. Basically it's so long and it's so high
Mm.
that it has its own ecosystem.
All right. Yeah, yeah, I think I heard about that.
Right. There's
But
sections.
does it go deep inside? Is it a long cave or you're just talking
Yes.
about the
No.
opening that
It actually goes deep inside. And he goes I can't remember exactly how far. I just started like watching it and reading about it
mm,
maybe a week or so ago because it popped up in my feed and I was like, what the hell's going on here?
mm,
It's 3 miles long apparently. And it's about
mm,
650 to 750 feet high. Nobody could really tell. But it's
mm,
it's big enough where you could put the Empire State Building in it. You could put an entire city in it, basically.
mm.
And those information that they have, that's only half of the cave information of the cave because
Mm,
nobody's been able to uh to go beyond a certain point yet. And it's interesting,
mm,
and I'm like, what the hell? It has its own ecosystem. You can you just imagine though? They apparently they've found different kind of animals and species in there already that has never been
mm,
discovered before. Different
mm.
kind of birds, different kind of insects. Um, the uh, the
That's
soil
interesting.
level is different as well.
That's yeah, yeah, that's interesting that the ecosystem is different because what light source is just on one side, right? From
Right.
the opening,
Correct.
right? And then I'm sure it has its own weather system because it's so huge. Not just the ecosystem because of all the stuff that's living there, but on top of that is the weather system.
Correct. It's like its own little world down there because
Yeah.
the entrance to the cave, it's big enough as it is, right? But it doesn't
Mm,
exactly stay that big the entire way. It actually shrinks down to where it makes it
mm,
difficult to venture on, and then it opens back up again, right?
mm,
So that being said, even the light from the entrance doesn't even reach the specific area where it has its own ecosystem. There's actually one opening from the top it's so big that
mm,
again it has its own like atmospheric levels or whatever, and it's pretty amazing.
mm,
It's
mm.
this British, I guess, discoverer or whatever that ventured into it.
To this Vietnam cave.
Yeah, to this Vietnam
Yeah.
cave, and
No, because you
it's
reminded me, I was just in the middle of thinking that there's also a cave system in yeah, in the UK somewhere. I forget what it's called.
mm,
If it's called the hole or something like that. But it's there's a farmer somewhere in the middle of his field. He sees a hole. He peeks into it, and it turns out it's an entrance to a whole cave underneath. And they've been
really
farming there for such a long time, yeah. And then so cave divers went in, and then it's like a cave. It's an underwater cave system also.
mm,
So there's a it's just a small opening, but like you said, it's a small restriction, and then it actually opens up to something big underneath. So you have
right.
to sort of rappel down your scuba gear, and then hey, look at that lady,
Baby.
little human being over there. Oh, I
What happened?
forget
You
what
want to
it's
say hi to
called.
Noel? Okay, hold on, okay?
Hi.
Hold on. say 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 hi, Noel.
Hello.
Say hi. How are you?
Hello.
Did you tell him what you had for dinner? What did you eat for dinner? You had
What did you
fried
have for dinner?
and chicken.
Fried
Yeah, chicken
chicken.
too. Did you like chicken? Don't you don't have to
What
say
is it?
that.
What?
Okay, so bye,
Yeah.
Noel. Say bye. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Okay,
Hello.
okay.
It's so
I'll see
funny.
you later.
It's like her little tiny face, and then that microphone is practically covering her entire face.
Okay, bye bye. What did you see? What do you want? What do you want? You want this one? I'll give you one. Okay, only one. Tell mama to open it. No, tell mom. Hey, take your blanket. I'm sorry about that. Take the blanket. Bye bye bye. I love you.
Yeah, don't forget the blanket.
Yeah.
My kid never had anything like that, like something to hang on to, like a comfort blanket. Or I did when I was I had like a little stuffed toy that I was always walking around with.
Yeah, she doesn't really have like a blanket. She has her pacifier. It's
Uh
connected to like a doll.
oh.
It's like a llama basically.
uh
And it's it's she's probably had that same one maybe six different times because she she bites it. So it always breaks all the time, you know? Um and it's annoying because it's like $20 each.
Yeah.
But
It's attached to the stuffed toy. It's not, it doesn't have that clip that she can clip on her shirt.
we tried that route, but she like yanks it off and literally just tosses it.
Bro,
So
I know you
it's
want to talk about this cave system and everything, but there's something that I should talk to you about.
yeah,
I
go
got
ahead.
distracted with your little girl real quick. What's your opinion about, did it ever get um I was wondering what you guys would think. You know those leash things that you put on your baby?
God, God
Did you
damn it,
did you
man.
ever? Did you ever?
Hell no. I would never, ever, ever
Right.
put that to any of my kids. Never have, never will. All
So
right.
strange, isn't it?
It's disgusting. It's like you're dragging a little pup.
Yeah. And then the
Like
next best thing to that is the one that's strapped on the back.
the backpack.
Yeah.
It's a
With
backpack.
with a
You know,
leash.
you know how many
Yeah.
times in Disney World? Okay, so we're like sitting there and you see a
Yeah.
kid in a leash will run off and literally just you when they're running off and it's like tied up and you're like get pulled
Uh,
back like that.
uh,
That's how, and it's like a fun, as much as I don't want to laugh about it, it's funny watching it, but it's so I hate
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Do
Have you ever
people in the
lost a
Philippines do
kid?
that?
Yeah, every now and then you'd see someone holding that kind of contraption. But
Yeah.
let me just wrap this up with this question. Have you ever lost a kid before?
No, but I was lost.
Right.
What I've never lost a kid, thank God.
Yeah, but
But
I
as a
guess the
baby, as a 5 year old in Manila in the Philippines in remember Rustans?
yeah, yeah, that's still alive.
Oh, is it really?
There's still Rustans around. Yeah, yeah,
Nice. Yeah, well, it's huge and I got
yeah,
lost in there. So
yeah.
my mom lost me.
Mm,
What about
mm.
you? Did you ever get
Yeah,
lost like
same,
that?
same, same, same. I was with my uncle. I was looking around like on one, I was window shopping. I was following my uncle, and then I look up, and then it's like, oh, it's a stranger that I'm following around. Next thing you know, I'm crying, and I'm in one of those, paging for the uncle of.
Exactly.
That was more,
Well,
that was more traumatic. That was more embarrassing. announcing my name, I think, or announcing my uncle, because they were trying to help me find my uncle. That was more embarrassing than realizing that I was following the wrong person.
It's,
The public humiliation.
I mean, what was embarrassing in my part is when they did the whole paging thing at Restans. It's not like my mom ran over, you know? She like took her time. I was still
Oh,
there for like 20 minutes.
it's like instant babysitter. you know that reminds me, there was a time that I got a traffic violation in one
Well, hold
of
on.
the.
Sorry. I apologize. Put a pin in that real quick. Did you lose your son?
No, 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 never.
Okay, good.
I
All right.
haven't.
Anyway, you were saying.
But to each his own. I can't judge it, but it's just one of those things that you're not going to catch me, hopefully not going to catch me having. I
Well,
could, I could
it's
barely even buy stuff for my dog. Like, I don't like those extra contraptions like a stroller or an ex,
you
I'm
need a stroller. What are you talking about?
for a dog.
Oh no, hell no. That's just insane. Now,
And then some
those
malls don't even allow you to enter the mall without a stroller for the dog,
oh god, that's just insane. To
or
begin
like
with, why
a
would you
a,
bring your dog to a mall?
a
Seriously.
carriage, because they're little babies and they can't be left at home.
Screw that, man. Lechon that thing and
What was I saying? There was another thing.
you were getting a
Oh,
ticket.
yeah, sorry, quick story that I haven't told you about. So I got a ticket one time, and they have their own different like processes and systems and procedures for how you pick up your driver's license sometimes. And the one in Makati, I remember I had a traffic violation there, so that's where I had to pick up my driver's license.
Hmm.
And the embarrassment of just paging for traffic violator Noel De La Rosa, you can pick up your driver's license now. So they the kulang na lang, they just had to like announce the traffic violation that I had to pick up.
Right.
It was practically, and it was like in the middle of the street, like almost like a residential area. So you could hear all the people that were picking up their driver's license, like Noel De La Rosa, you can now pick up your driver's license for entering a one-way street
That
and
that
parking
would be pretty.
illegally.
That, but why would they have to like announce the entire setup? Why can't they
It
just
was
call you
just,
to go to the desk?
yeah, no, I think they didn't announce exactly the violation, but just hearing my name announced on like loud
Yeah,
speakers,
yeah,
like, you know, so I could it was just the second line that came when
yeah.
I heard my name. Noel De La Rosa for entering a one-way street
That'd be pretty funny though.
with a car
Mr.
that was not.
Ramirez, Mr. Ramirez, you were driving for about a mile and a half with your door open and your daughter hanging.
So let's go back to the what's this,
Mr.
the cave that you.
Mr. Ramirez, you
Oh,
got pulled over.
hold on, yeah, I saw this before. There's a beach inside that cave system that you're talking about.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It has its own ecosystem in there.
Yeah, 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 there's a cave inside.
Right, right. Well,
Nice.
it's a cave
I mean, a
within a
cave,
cave.
a beach inside. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
Whew.
It's what was I saying, man? I had a whole spiel about this damn cave and I forgot about it.
Well, we were talking about the new its own ecosystem. There's different weather forecasts inside,
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. I forgot. It's a huge damn cave.
and it's a huge cave with its own beach inside, and a little. It almost looks like an ocean, but it's like a small little lake.
Did you see the pictures of like those tents and those people down there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's how big that dang place is. I mean,
yeah.
you can have like a football stadium right there and it would fit.
Right, Vietnam, you said, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's called
Yeah.
Sun Dung. I think it's what it's called.
Mm,
And
yeah,
it's one of those places that's just really undiscovered. Makes me think though,
yeah,
like there's the you would it makes me think that really is the world really that big that every like there's still a lot of places that hasn't been explored.
Apparently,
Yeah. Like what I really want to know is like what's really underneath the ocean.
that I was about to say that's the number one place that we haven't really figured out yet.
Right. I mean, it's.
Still a lot of stuff to discover with that.
Do you think there's actually mermaids down
Huh.
down there, or some kind of species that may be similar or whatnot?
Huh.
That'd be pretty cool, though,
Mm,
right?
well, yeah, I don't know about mermaids, but yeah, there are still a lot of species that haven't been discovered, named or discovered,
Right, right.
discovered or named. Imagine naming something. Imagine having like being okay, so you discovered it. What do you want to call it, Jason? What do you want to call it?
Let's call it Peter.
So,
What do you
yeah.
think? Like the those giant octopus.
Right.
I wonder if
What?
that's really like exist down there.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
do.
it's so it's the ocean is so deep that it, like I said, it's undiscovered yet, and I don't know, maybe it is. You know, who
I
knows?
think the coolest thing about it is like, it's like they're in their own cave. They don't even need to go up for any sunlight, much
Yeah,
less
that's
for
true.
air. They just spend their whole lives under
I mean, they're down there right next to Bin Laden, probably, and
way
Megatron.
yeah, Megatron. But way they don't even need to go up for any sunlight. It's like why go up there? Why bother?
Right,
Right. So it's completely two different worlds.
right, right.
But yeah, there have been like sighting well for dolphins and stuff. I hear that they come up to divers sometimes, like these commercial divers.
Hmm.
They come up there, bother them or play with them. But I'm not so clear about the ones with the squid though, like the large squid. That one I haven't really heard much about.
Right, right. Well, that's my 2 cents on that. Um, One of the other things that I actually want to segue to is, if you're okay, unless there's anything else that you want to talk about.
No, that's it. I was wondering if there was anything else to squeeze out of that, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
I'm
I'm
kind
good
of.
in that one. But one thing that I really want to talk about now, if you want or if you're okay with, I
What's
want to
up?
talk about your call center job, the one that's been lingering around forever.
What's bothering you about it?
So the other, not the, a couple of days back, I had to call my credit card company, Capital One.
Okay.
All right. First of all, their call centers in the Philippines for
Okay.
Capital One,
Okay.
and it annoys the crap out of me when I call the call center, the customer service.
Okay. Before I say anything else, just to give you the at the end of the day story about my call center experience. Of course, I ended up having more respect for whenever I call the call center, whether it's local here or I end up speaking to somebody abroad, which never happens. Did it ever happen? Yeah, no, I never had a reason to, but because there's two types of call centers here, like international ones where
Mm-hmm.
they're supposed to speak English, and then there are local ones where they are supposed to be able to speak both English and Tagalog, which
Which
is a
one did you work
totally
at?
different experience. The international one, the international type one, the overseas type one, which is obviously that you'd have to be working graveyard shift based on the time that you're catering to customers to,
Was that for like
etc.,
credit card
etc.
company or what?
Yeah, I did a little bit for credit card, and then I did one for customer service for, like I said before, listing policies. So you're sort of policing and explaining why your eBay listings are not allowed.
Right.
Yeah.
Which credit card was it?
Oh, it was a mix. It was more. I don't remember.
How long ago was it?
I don't remember which credit card it was for. 5 years ago for the credit card.
Well, it wasn't that long. It was right before the pandemic, really.
Yeah, just before there was one in 2009. I
Mm,
did to pay for something, and then yeah, the recent one was like in 2014, 15,
mm.
thereabouts. Sorry, what was your situation? What was your, you
Yeah,
said
because
you had to
I called
call?
the I don't like calling Capital One or American Express
Mm,
customer service because the call
okay.
center is in the Philippines.
Okay. Is it awkward speaking to like, uy, pare, kababayan?
It's not, well, you can't do that to begin with because they're not going to answer you that way. They still have to talk
Okay.
to you in English and whatnot. So it's pointless,
Okay.
right? But what pisses me off is I don't know if they mute the background noise or, but most of the times they don't.
Okay.
So you can hear in the back like, "Hey, ate, kumain ka na, kain na tayo, kain na," in the
Oh,
background.
oh no, they're not supposed to do that. Okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm the person that was talking to me. His name was Jimmy. It's such an
Okay.
American name, but yeah, sure. It's obvious that he's reading a script, right? And then you can hear the the guy next to him like, pare, pare, nag-break ka na ba? Break tayo. While he's
Oh,
on the phone.
right. That's how boring it can get.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's annoying as hell. It's like, and
Okay.
every single time I call, it doesn't matter if it's American Express or Capital One or or for my car, the customer service for my because my car financing is through Capital One as well.
Yeah.
I'm always talking to some Filipino, right? And it's cool, but sometimes they just need to mute the background or something.
Do you tell him like, bro, you forgot to put your
Well,
microphone, your headset on
so
mute?
here's the thing. Sometimes I want to tell them, but sometimes I don't because I want to know what they're talking about.
What they're talking about? Yeah.
And in the background, you can hear the girls just chismissing all the time.
Yeah. My
Hoy,
cousin who
kilala mo
worked
ba
there for
ito?
like 10 years, he'd be like eating on the side, or he'd be doing other stuff, like he'd be knitting or something, like doing something on the side. Like that's how,
Knitting?
I guess, crochet.
Oh, so they allow it. Oh, well, because I mean,
Well,
nobody really calls all the time.
not for all. That's what I was going to say. My experience, they were really strict. Like you can't bring anything inside the floor. They called it the floor.
It's
And
just
there's
a bunch of
actually
cubicles, right?
yeah, and there's actually a security guard that checks and makes sure that you don't have anything in there. You're practically like a factory worker, really,
Right.
you know. So, and everything's measured, everything, like how the length of your call, if you went on script, if you got off script, if there was a resolution or not a resolution. There's I got an eBay shirt here, and like on at the back of it, it says revolution via revolution via resolution, because you're always trying to resolve problems, right?
Right, right.
um but yeah, you're basically an army ant working in a factory
Why did you
trying to.
quit that job?
Well, it wasn't for me. No, but the real reason was it was really screwing up my circadian rhythm. I just felt unhealthy really after 6 months.
Right, right.
um
But did you actually like it though? Did you enjoy working there?
no, I'm not really an office kind of guy.
Yeah.
Much respect to people that work there, because you really got to go by the books. They some people enjoy it, some people thrive at it.
Right, right.
They really enjoy doing it, and I was in it for the experience. I just wanted to know what the hype was all about.
Work at a call center?
But yeah, because I was complaining. I was like one of those people that was, oh, this is where you can really blame me or call me like an elitist, because I was
Right.
like, I'm never gonna work for a call center. I'm too good for that. But there was a time that it's another story, but yeah, I needed to pay for something and I wanted to get it paid fast. I wanted to pay for it fast.
Mm-hmm.
And call center was the way to go. And like I said, all due respect for the people that get into it. It takes a certain mindset And they also say that it's a young man's game kind of thing because again, your sleep is really screwed up.
Correct.
So yeah, there's actually people that have died like in the middle of a shift because they were so freaking tired
What?
and it just screws up. Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
You really got to
obviously you
manage
gotta
your
adjust and like manage your sleep pattern.
yeah, but sometimes people take advantage of the fact that you can do stuff during the day,
Correct.
you
That's the
know.
problem there. Obviously, if you're not taking care of yourself, you won't be
Yeah,
able to adapt to it.
yeah.
How was the
But
pay
going
though?
going back to it's decent. I mean, for the fact that you're just sitting around
Yeah.
and using your head and
Yeah.
your mouth, you're just talking to somebody.
Hmm.
But the one I think that really killed me was that everything was monitored. Not that I wanted to do anything fancy,
Right.
but that like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. You're basically a robot. They tell you everything that you got to do, and you
So
got to
it's
do every. And then they have like a so you're divided into teams of maybe 5, 10, 15 people, and then there's a team leader,
right.
and that team leader basically corrals you around, make it's like your home it's like your homeroom teacher, makes sure that you're going by the books, and then they listen to every other call or whatever. They
Hmm.
have quality control people that make sure that you're in line. And
Hmm.
my favorite part was like there's forget what it's called, but it's basically like a report card that there's like KPIs, key performance indicators of what you if you said this, if you did that, if everything is done by the book, basically. But the one that really killed me was, they measure your calls, like how long it took for you to resolve the problem. So it was just
Why would they measure that? I mean, if it takes
eh,
a whole day to measure a problem, then so be it.
because the longer that you speak with one person, that means you're not solving other people's problems. They
Oh,
want you to it's quantity versus quality sometimes.
right. Right.
But yeah, it's not the same for all, okay? Because I mean, of course, there's also a fraud department. That one it's also about being able to like to turn every stone
Hmm.
and to really make sure that they solve the problem. But I'm curious, as a customer, do you have any questions about that?
Like, so there,
I
you're
mean, from
obviously
the other
going.
side.
Sorry about
You're
that delay. I had to like look outside the window because I noticed. I have a ring camera. You know what a ring camera is?
uh
For the front door. So there's like a cop car just sitting there,
oh,
and I'm like, I want to go outside and like ask what's going on, because I don't see anything or I don't hear anything. But my
is your
wife
truck back
tells,
there?
what?
Is your truck parked outside?
My truck's in the back, yeah, and but the police car is right here.
Oh, on the
I'm
other
like,
side.
but the window at the front, just the front of the house. It's the back of the house.
Okay.
So well, there's a cop car. Just I can see the cop car right there, because my window, and I'm like, here, I want to find out what's going on. Why am I whispering? They can't-
Feel guilty already.
Guilty by association. No, but I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, I want to find out.
Maybe it's just taking a break.
In front of my house.
Are you guys on a like a subdivision, a secluded
Not really, but the street's
to get
pretty
in?
secluded. Yeah.
No, no, no. But do you need to pass through a gate or a guard
No, no,
to
no, no,
get
no,
through?
no.
So anybody can just pass by anytime, and no,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I would find it suspicious or funny, or if there's a gate and then they're inside, they can't just be going in there for fun.
Right.
But yeah, if it's an open neighborhood, he could be eating a donut or taking his 15-minute break.
Right in
Are the
front.
lights on?
Yes. I mean,
Mm.
the blue light is not on. He's just parked right there with a car on.
Mm, mm, mm,
And
mm.
I'm curious to find out. Like, I can't stop looking for some reason.
Maybe he's just waiting for you to finish.
Probably. He's like, God damn it, these people are taking forever. We need to lock him up already.
What were we talking about?
Call center.
Oh yeah.
So there's two things. One,
Mm.
when you guys really, or you had to follow a script, right?
Not
So
a strict script. but there's, it depends on what your account is, I guess.
Right,
Or,
but
or
obviously there's
I mean,
certain
there's a process.
topics. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're talking about one thing. Are you facing a computer screen or do you have a book that you follow?
No, you're not allowed to bring any pen and paper inside. So we have two
No, no,
computers.
like your
We
script.
had two computer screens.
Okay,
No, I
got
mean,
it.
if there's a script, it's on the other screen that you're sort of referencing.
Right, and then the other screen is like the phone call information or the caller information or account and whatnot, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you have to click back and forth to find this specific scenario just in case, like, oh, scenario is the caller or the customer is.
Possibly. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Ah,
Possibly.
okay. Well, that makes
You'll
sense
be
then.
amazed. There's always like with the two that I worked with, if I'm not mistaken, there's always like a knowledge base, knowledge, sort of like a Bible for whatever account, whether it's a call center, you're trying to sell something or whatever. For sure, there's like, they thought about that in and out.
Right,
And there's always like some rule book somewhere to follow.
right, right.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's good to know. So then a lot of it makes sense then. But the last question I really had about it is,
Yeah.
did you guys or do people in call centers actually put customers on hold just to piss them off?
Um,
Like I swear, sometimes. So I got irritated, and I did kind of express my irritation to that operator.
yeah.
And oh, let me get my supervisor. Let me put you on hold for two
Right.
minutes, please, and then let me ask my supervisor and put me on
Right.
hold for like five,
Right.
10 minutes.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, are they doing that in purpose just to fuck with you?
Yeah. A lot of it would be like, damn, I need a breather,
Yeah.
so they might need it to take a break. But no, I'd like to think that I don't have that kind of experience because like I said, there's also the length of the call. They also measure that. So that goes against your, what did they call it? AHT, average handling time.
Okay.
They have all these like terminologies for stuff like that. So no, the more that they call the supervisor, that's also like, why do you keep calling me? Like, can't you handle you should be able to handle the call by yourself. So the more
Oh,
that they
so
have to call,
that
the more
goes
that they
against
have
them.
to, not like against, but it would be like, can't you handle that call yourself? Because you already know what you're doing, kind of thing.
Mm, mm.
And so if you do call a supervisor, it wouldn't be much. It shouldn't be much of a, unless it's a special, it depends on what kind of problem that you guys are dealing with.
Right.
But
Right.
but generally, I think I can say that they want to teach the agent well enough so that they don't have to talk to a supervisor. And if that's it, if it's to transfer the call to a supervisor, 9 times out of 10, aside from making special, bending the rules a little bit if they could or if they have to, a lot of it is really just to appease the customer, just so that you're talking to a supervisor.
Now, is it actually a supervisor that takes the call?
It's usually the team leader.
Got it.
And it's not like, when you say supervisor, it's not like you're speaking to the manager of the
Yeah, I
of the
know that.
company or what.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
But yeah,
like
they have
literally
a
a
higher
lead.
ranking,
Yeah, yeah.
and they could have like extra access or extra permission or whatever. Yeah.
Right. To
But
make
but going
decisions.
but going back, it's a lot of it is really about being able to manage the call in such a way that you don't have to transfer to a supervisor, that what you're doing. um and yeah, because if to transfer a supervisor, the supervisor is also doing something, so it
Right.
becomes kind of annoying. It's like, why do you keep asking me to hold your hand, kind of thing. You should be able to handle this.
Right. Right.
um Yeah. And a lot of it, really, if you think about it, a lot of wanting to speak to the supervisor is because you feel like the person that you're speaking with doesn't know what he's doing. So it's
Correct.
you're frustrated, and so that other person just wants to pacify you, wants to give you a baby Mary Mayer Wubbanub infant pacifier. That's what the supervisor is for you, just to calm you down.
It's just trying to get like a better answer type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's basically what that is. It's not necessarily like who it is. you're
Yeah.
talking to, but are they able to make a decision to rectify issues?
Yeah. And a lot of it, basically what I'm saying, a lot of it is really to pacify the customer because you have a reason to be pissed off.
Right.
And so when you're asking for a supervisor, meaning you're escalating the call to a supervisor, that means the person that you're speaking with is not handling the call in such a way that you, the customer, feels like you're in good hands.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I interpreted that. So for me, when I was the agent, I felt, yeah, that's how I felt. Like I wasn't able to handle the the customer's irrational, you know.
Yeah.
Um
I mean, I have to admit, I was one of those people on multiple occasions and whatnot, you know.
yeah.
But it's just irritating, like, as well, when they don't, when I guess their office mates in this call center are just
Mm,
really, they're so loud. Everybody's talking around them too much. Um,
yeah.
like, anong kinakain mo? Anong
Yeah.
gagawin mo
That's
mamaya?
unprofessional. They shouldn't be doing
Yeah,
things like
it's like
that.
really like talagang chismisan talaga.
Mm,
You could tell from their conversations, you know, and it's annoying.
mm.
This is Capital One and American Express, both like that I've experienced with.
Then if you know that they're Filipino, then why don't you say it? Uy, naiintindihan ko yung
I've actually said that.
pinag-uusapan nyo.
I've
Oh.
actually said that, and they just sorry, like, oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Or don't tell them that that you can understand what they're saying, but hey, whatever it is that you're doing and you know what you're doing, that's unprofessional.
yeah,
And I hope and then you say, I hope you're recording this call.
I've got it. I've actually done that part, and it's one of those parts where they say, I'm sorry, let me talk to my office mates and put me on hold and for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah,
and
and
it's frustrating.
that's the frustrating thing about it. I also know that that's why I'm careful not to piss them off.
Right.
I'm talking about my experience calling for the bank or canceling a card, and they've been quite professional. But you also just it's the trick is like this. You want, as the customer, you want the agent to be on your side too.
Right.
So as pissed off as you are, you also want to sort of, manipulate the conversation or drive the conversation in such a way that the guy on the other line is also on your side. Because
Right.
if you come in there irate and pissed off already, then the person's already like, okay, I'm gonna put him on hold, because that's the power that the agent has, that
Right.
I can tell you to I can put you on hold for as long as I want, although it
Right.
counts
Right.
against my time or whatever. But it's really a matter of not manipulation really, but just regular business etiquette,
Mm, mm,
decorum.
right.
Like how do you negotiate what you want? And you don't
Right.
do that by being irate and shouting.
It's
Although I
it's
although I can understand.
yeah. It's just it's a frustration for me, like having to call the customer service number all the time, or if I try to avoid it as much as possible. But there's
Yeah.
just instances where I can't, obviously.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I haven't had the luck of getting, like, especially with Capital One, with people that are professional, so to speak, you know? And it sucks. I hate it's
That's
annoying. It's so annoying. And you've actually given me a pretty good insight on how it is inside. So that's good to know.
yeah.
At
You
least I could be a
remind
little
me
bit more patient.
whenever I'm making like purchases here, whether I want to get an expensive watch or the, whatever kind of lamp or whatever, I always ask about the service center, like where
Mm.
the service center is, and you know, yeah, distance, and if the service center is any good.
Is
That's
that a
that's
factor of, like,
that's a
for
factor
you,
for
if you're
me
gonna buy it or not?
because I'm always thinking that the thing's going to break down, and where am I going to take it? And then do I have to deal with a call center? Like, what's the customer service, the after sales service going to be like?
Right.
Um, but yeah,
There's not even a place like that here. Most of the time, with, like, for your warranty and all that stuff, if it breaks
uh,
down, you have to mail it in. And then when you mail it
oh,
in, it's a waiting game on how long before
yeah,
you get it back, you know?
yeah, yeah,
And that's why, honestly, so they'll sell warranties on stuff. Most of the time,
mm,
people don't even use it.
hmm,
Yeah. Although, I did have one positive experience with a warranty for the thing that we bought. So there's these new pots and pans called Hexclad, right? Have you heard of it? Hexclad.
Is that the square copper one?
It's not
No.
square, it's circle, but there's like images of like octagons or whatnot inside. It's the same. It's the same one that Gordon Ramsay uses, basically.
What happened? Did it break? You had
No,
to
so
return it?
it's scratch resistant. You can
Uh,
use a spoon in it, a knife, whatever it is you want to use,
mm,
and it's not supposed to scratch. It's not supposed to bend whatsoever.
uh,
And they have a 1000% replacement guaranteed if any of those happens, right? And this thing is not cheap. It's about $300 for 4 pots.
uh.
Four. It's about $300 for a small
So
set.
you had to
So,
call the customer service just to return
well,
it or
when
get it
you buy
replaced?
it, when you buy it, you register it on their website and you
Yeah.
send a copy of the receipt. So I registered it. But I was so excited to get this because I've seen it. It's been around for a while and I've seen it multiple times. And it got to a point where my wife and I were comfortable and had enough money spare to buy it, right? So we
Mm,
buy it. It comes
mm.
basically with a wok and three separate pans, a large one, medium one, and a small one, whatever.
Nice.
But I got so excited that when I was unpacking it, I completely forgot the small pan inside
So
the box and I
was it
threw the
your
box
fault?
away. It was my
Was it
fault.
your
It was my fault. I literally I I got so excited. I took it out of the box, but I forgot to take the smallest pan out and I ended up throwing it out with the box.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it's brand new. I threw it out by accident.
So what's the problem?
So I called Hexclad and I'm like, hey, this is a long shot. No, no,
Uh,
I didn't call them. I emailed them.
uh.
Or I emailed the customer service.
Uh,
Long shot here. I've always been excited to get this. We
uh.
finally got it. Out of my excitement, I neglected to take the small pan out and I threw the
Right.
entire thing out,
Okay.
included,
What happened?
and then literally, I admitted basically my stupidity because
Mm-hmm.
it was my fault. I was the one being stupid about it. And then within 24 hours, I get an email back. Hey, no problem. We see you're registered. We'll send you a new one. Just like that.
Sweet. So now you have a set of two with one missing tiny pot,
No, no, no. They
tiny.
they sent me the one that I threw out. That's all
Oh,
they sent.
just a small one. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, but still, I mean, just for that
Done.
one piece, it's like $70 already.
Done. So you
Yeah,
didn't have to talk to any
yeah.
customers
Everything
agent
by
or what?
email. And
Right.
2.5 weeks later, came in the mail.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like,
So that's
wow.
actually a success story.
Yeah, it's one
Yeah.
success story out of God knows how many that
Yeah.
are all under warranty.
Yeah. Here
And
you
I was like
remind me
so
of
surprised by it.
my frustration with DJI's customer service. But they got stuff done. They actually replied. But the one that frustrated me was they don't have a call center for DJI. Well, in my experience, now everything's just on email.
Right.
So all of these technicalities, all this stuff that I wanted to talk about, but I guess that's the reason for it because everything that we're talking about is like, electronic and, complaining about how the product might work or not work and the flaws and stuff. So everything needs to be detailed and
Right.
on email. But yeah, so they don't have. So I was like really writing. Don't you have like customer service that I can shout at? Like I'm really upset. Like no, sorry, you gotta email us.
Right. Right.
And so there.
What
But
were you,
on
what was that you were what happened? What were you trying to get a hold
uh
of them for?
yeah, it's that long story about the drone
Yeah.
flying and like getting lost in the middle of a flight and we were trying to argue whether it was the battery or was pilot's error. Like, how could it be pilot's error? Because it was 400 feet above and there was no buildings. It couldn't run into a mountain and yada yada. So I sent them all the evidence and nothing. So my argument was your system because it's got flight records, right? It's got like a little black box that records every single movement, everything that happens on screen,
Right.
Is I mean everything that happens to the drone is recorded. So I was like, if you can't tell me that it's my fault because it's not pilot error, then it must be your fault because it's product error.
Correct.
And they wouldn't we and then so they can't prove that either. Like it didn't show on the black box. Like it just like a snap of a finger, it just disappeared like in the middle of the whole thing. And my conclusion was, after 3 or 4 batteries got bloated, I told you about the story, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to, it only makes sense that it was the battery, that it bloated like mid flight, which cut off all the power. And therefore, that's the reason why there's no record
Right.
of what happened.
That
But they
could
said,
be it.
well, but they were saying on the email, they were saying, well, you can't prove that. We can't prove that. It doesn't say on the black box. It doesn't
Who's to
say on the
say
flight
though?
records.
Right.
Huh?
Who's to say? Does it? It doesn't really. It really doesn't show in the flight record.
It
But
doesn't. It just,
but
there's just
then
no
again,
data.
right. So if it pops and whatnot, then why would it show that? It obviously
Yeah.
it's not going to record.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So
By
there was no outcome for that.
They give me a discount for the next purchase, which is the reason why I got this camera for a for for a really low price.
Right.
How
Right.
much is 10,000 pesos in dollars? But
$200
yeah,
maybe.
like one third or half the price. They
So you
just
got
gave
it
it
for
to, but
$100. What kind of camera is that anyway?
the DJI Action 2, they have an Action 3 now or an Osmo 3 now, but so this is the one that I wear for the motorcycle when I'm riding. It's like my little dash cam. But
Ah,
point was, and I was still pissed off because I still had to cash. I still had to send some cash out. I still had to pay for it somehow.
right.
So anyway, and I was arguing with them that I don't want to spend, like 45,000 pesos for like, which is half the price of the drone. I was like, just give me your cheapest camera and I'll pay half the price for that camera. So
Mm.
I kind of ended up with this one. Long story, but
Did
point
is that
was that
something that you could
everything,
actually use as a webcam?
no, with everything that it's good for, it doesn't work with the
Oh,
iMac as a webcam. Right.
so
I know,
DJIs
right?
don't work with a iMac.
Just for this particular camera. I don't know for the other ones. Um, but yeah, so that's another story. But point was, the emphasis of that story was that, all that discussion, about the battery, about negotiating on what the discount would be, and okay, fine, I'll just settle for whatever. Like I'm like a lawyer writing down like my each and every argument. That was like, 15, 20 emails back and forth. Like everything is just on email. So you'd wait another, but in fairness to DJI, they would reply like within a day or two.
Right.
And then if you don't reply, because I'm still thinking about my reply after a week, they'll follow up like, hey, we haven't heard from you. They're pretty professional, so I got to give them that. But you know, the fact that yeah, they just wouldn't admit to the battery issue was really frustrating.
It's
But
um it's amazing that these customer service people or these warranty places really they'll go by the book in regards to like trying to limit what they can do for you.
yeah, that's overall the bottom line of what I was also trying to say a while ago was
Right.
that it's at the end of the day, it's still a business, and they want to appease you as a human being, but at the same time, there are other customers too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're pissed off and you threaten to sue, that's probably the only reason to go up to a to a I don't remember which company that was, but that was like, okay, when they threaten to sue, that's the only time that give it to a supervisor or
Right.
something to that effect. But that
That's
was,
horrible policy.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, it never got to a point with that with DJI. It just really didn't make sense. Their policies just didn't make sense with me. And who am I to threaten to sue? Because that would be an empty threat.
Right.
Um, but on the other hand, I want to tell you the good story. This is just a quick one. I had a it's like a fraud situation with one of my debit cards, and I was really pissed off and really irate, and I was just amazed at how the fraud agent, and again, they different talents go to different departments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this lady was really professional and really good. um she spoke calmly and she made me feel like she knew what she was doing, and that's really the thing. Like, you really want the other person on the other end, you just want to feel like you're speaking to a reasonable human being on the other side, no
Right.
matter what the situation is,
Right.
whether it's technical or fraud. And that's the thing that pissed me off with DJI. Like, the first emails that I got from them, it seemed like I was getting like a copy paste response.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you even look at the data? So that's what really got me pissed off. Like, I felt like because I being an agent myself, I kind of knew and felt when somebody was just giving me a copy paste cookie cutter response.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so the good experience that I had with this bank was that, the agent that I was speaking with was, at the top of her game, in a sense that she seemed like she knew what she was doing. She was doing like things sort of methodically, and let me speak, let me air out my frustration, and then she knew where to come in and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. I'll follow up with you, and she actually followed up, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. So that felt good
Yeah.
in terms of customer service.
Well, that's
But
good.
yeah, when you brush somebody off, like, sorry, that's not going to work for us. When somebody just brushes you off, that's the one that really pisses me off. So,
Yeah. I mean, customer service here, and at least on the flip side over here, customer service is practically non-existent.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it's horrible. I could go on God knows how long just talking about customer service. It's down the drain. It's like you're literally bothering these people. That's how it feels like. Like I said the other day, I think we talked about this at one time already.
yeah,
When I want to approach somebody and asking for like, hey, where can I find this? They're like, dude, look for it yourself. I'm busy. I mean,
yeah.
obviously
Because
they
at the
didn't
end
say
of the
that.
day, you're really just a number, in a sense that they have a scorecard. They're literally working with a scorecard, and it's their paycheck if they don't move on to the next customer.
Right.
It's quantity versus quality. Yeah,
Quality is non-existent anymore for that in
and
that manner.
and those agents are dime a dozen. If they get sick of their job, somebody's going to replace them, and same
Correct.
thing with the customer. They
Correct.
lose you, they'll get another customer anyway.
Right. Right. But it shouldn't be that way, though. You know? I mean,
Yeah.
what happened to the days of like actually wanting to help people? You know? What makes it worse in regards to that? All right, I'm gonna get some hate in regards to this, okay? And we're gonna end this on this one because this is what bothers me the most. So when you
Mm.
go out to eat restaurants now, these servers, where the fuck do they go? And what nerve do they have charging people and expecting 20% tip all the time?
uh oh, I gotta tell you, in some of the restaurants here, they specifically tell you that uh basically the tip, or do they have service charge on the receipts on your end?
No. I mean, in most
There.
cases they don't. In some
So
places,
we
yes.
so we have service charge here, which is technically the tip already.
Correct.
So they encourage you, actually, some restaurants actually specifically tell you there's no service charge, meaning there's no tip. So they encourage you to give tip. On
Right.
some restaurants, their service charge, basically don't give tip anymore. You don't need to give
Correct.
tip anymore.
It's the same thing here. But the caveat there is the waiter is not even going to tell you that. They're not going to say, oh, the service charge is actually the tip already. No, they're not going to say that. You're supposed to.
Well, it's your job to look at the receipt. Yeah.
Well, no, no, but I understand. But the waiter is supposed to say the service charge is actually the tip already. So you don't really need to add anymore if you don't want to. But if
Mm-mm.
they're not going to say anything and just what expect you to like add more tip, screw that. And then plus, you go to a restaurant, they take your order. Okay. They take forever to bring you your drinks. You place your order, they go away, and it's not even them bringing your food. It's the bussers or the other food delivery people, whatever. It's not
Mm,
the waiters or waitresses that took your order that brings your
mm,
food because
it's
they're
a
supposed
different
to bring your
person.
food, right? It's a different person. And then
Yeah.
when you get your food, then the waitress comes back. Oh, did you get everything you want? Did you get everything you need? And then that's it. You don't see them again until like you're done eating, and then they go, any room for dessert, or coffee or whatever? That's it. You're supposed to check a couple of times. Come back. Is there anything you need? Do you need anything else? Whatever. None of that. And then they still expect 20% tip. You know,
You're so spoiled. We sound like two grumpy old men now.
no, because it what right to the nerve of these goddamn waitresses and waiters to just expect that kind of, and they don't
But
do anything. And then when they
have
help you, they're all pissed off.
having experience, with face-to-face customer service, can't you like empathize or sympathize with them?
No, I mean,
Don't you? I mean, that's how I feel when
so
I'm talking to a customer service.
it depends. It depends really, because if they're gonna come to your table and have like an attitude already, like they don't want to be, they don't want to be there
Uh,
working. I'm
uh,
sorry.
uh,
Part of the deal of going out to eat, it's not just for the food; it's for the experience. That's why it's called going out to eat. And
mm,
you're in the customer service industry.
right,
You're supposed to be selling your experience as well.
right. They're
So
forgetting that. Like you do realize that I could just have my food delivered at home, right?
correct, and you can get nothing. See what I'm saying? If I'm gonna
Yeah,
pay, if my bill is $100 and you're expecting a $20 tip, you better come back more than just bringing me my food. You better check
yeah.
up on me multiple times. Hey, how's
Comes with an
everything?
extra
Right.
smile. Yeah,
How was your food? No, not even that. Hey, welcome to. Have you guys ever been here before? No, nothing. Just every waiter is supposed to tell you the specials, right? Today's special is like there are some restaurants that do that, but the regular restaurants are like, yeah.
yeah.
So, what do you guys want?
What
That's
is it
it.
gonna be for today?
Yeah.
How
And
was
then, do you guys have
the
any specials? And then when you ask about the specials, like, yeah, special tonight is like they don't want to tell you, but they're like being bothered or rushing them.
how are the servers at Hell's Kitchen?
At Hell's Kitchen was pretty impressive, I gotta admit.
Mm.
From the hostess that actually
Yeah.
took care of our reservations. All right.
Mm, mm, mm.
When we got up, the waiter, we didn't have to wait long. He was there already. The waiter was
Yeah.
very helpful. They made a suggestion as well on what to eat. The manager actually came by to our table just to check.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
$50 tip, well worth it. Well, the
Oh,
food was
nice.
good. The food was good though. Um, but I was like, yeah, why can't every restaurant have like, oh,
Did that did
in
that
regular
50
restaurants? Sorry,
come
of
out of your pocket voluntarily or
course not. I mean, there was a little bit of tears and throwing up inside at the same
no, no,
time.
no, but did that number, that amount come out from like is was it something that you came up or was it written on
No,
some piece
see,
of
that's the
paper that you
thing.
had to
It's
give
a high
50?
class restaurant. It's a very, very popular restaurant with very, very good food.
Yeah.
There's no, at the bottom of the receipt, sometimes it suggests you like how much you should tip. None of that.
Okay.
None of it. It's just
Yeah,
the
so where
bill,
did you get the number 50?
20%. I calculated 20%. It was $54.
Really?
Yeah. So the bill was like total about 370 something, $360 maybe.
It's funny. I don't know about calculating tips here in terms of percent. Well, that's probably what they do with the service charge, right? But me
Hmm.
personally, if it was so $20, if it was really good, 50. If it was really good, it'd be got nothing to do with the actual amount
Right. Of the food.
of the meal. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
before the standard is double the tax. That's the standard before.
Yeah.
But the
But
tax is
that's
like,
such an arbitrary rule. Like, where did you guys even come up with that?
I don't know. But now it's like standard is like 20%. But
Says who?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. you get your bill at the bottom of it, suggested tip 15%, 18%, 20%, and then at
And
the
what
bottom
happens if you
custom.
don't tip? Do they
I mean,
run after you or
they pretty much go after you, really.
how?
Like, okay, there's one time I can't remember where it was. We ate the customer. Oh no, I take it back. It was a
Yeah.
few weeks ago. I went out with my wife and her friends for dinner, and the waitress was just being a bee. They were just being a
Yeah.
bitch, basically. She did
So she
not
was
want to
and
be there.
she felt entitled to get a tip.
Well, we tipped her, but she got
Yeah.
tipped like low, like maybe
Yeah.
12%.
Yeah.
And she was like pissed off about it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Totally different culture here where, they don't they don't I noticed what the waiters here are doing now is that they're encouraging a lot of feedback, a lot of survey forms, and I think that's where they get their bonuses.
Well, that's good
If
though.
if you encourage your customer to do fill out the form, and then if the form is good for you, you get like 5 stars, they probably get a higher tip or a bonus or something
Right.
like that. I don't know how they're encouraging it, but yeah, you can't put that on the customer.
Yeah, but I mean, customer service is completely different in comparison to here and in the US
Mm,
and to the Philippines. Because customer service in the Philippines actually means customer service.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I can't complain about that. Yeah,
Yeah. Here, oh man. I mean, there are places where customer service is still amazing, just like well, hotels, for example. Not every hotel, but the classy hotels. Down
yeah,
to the bellboys and the door person, they're very friendly, they're helpful. Um,
yeah.
and that was one of the experience that was part of like places like Hell's Kitchen. It was attached to a hotel. We valet parked. The valet
Mm.
parker was actually very, very friendly, very nice. The doorman gave my daughter like a little doll. Yeah, it was really nice. So in that manner, yeah, tip is well deserved. But actually, when I was in the Philippines at one time, we had dinner at Greenbelt. I can't remember this Japanese restaurant, and I left a tip.
Mm.
Like I think it was like $10, maybe, like
Mm.
equivalent to $10, and then we left.
It's like 500 pesos. Did you leave this?
Yeah, I
Did
left it
you?
for him.
No, no, no. But the customer service, did the waiter like run after you, sir?
Yeah,
Sir, did you
yeah,
leave
yeah.
this?
The waiter ran after me outside. We were already outside in line for Starbucks because there was a Starbucks across the
Uh,
street.
no, 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 bro. That's for you.
Exactly. I was like, sir,
Right.
you overpaid. Did you leave this? You overpaid.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's your tip. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. You keep it.
Yeah.
He
That's why
did
we
not
love balikbayans.
he did not want to take it. He was like, no, sir, we can't take tip. It's part of our job. That's what he told me.
Uh,
So I'm like,
interesting.
please, sige na. Kunin mo na lang. Pasensya na. Sabi ko, pero ano na lang. And I
You had
said
to
something
force
like,
him to take it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he took it, and it was amazing how grateful he was. And
Yeah.
500 pesos is not a lot, but
Yeah.
um,
Well, it's a lot for
right.
you know.
Well, my,
Um,
my point is, that's something here. No, if you get chased, that means you're getting yelled or getting your ass beat.
yeah, there's a little bit of entitlement that's
Yeah.
going on there. So
Well,
it's a different culture.
it is. It
What
is.
a way
It's
to end the
definitely.
what a way to
What a way to end the podcast, huh? To complete flip side from one side to the other.
here's to better experiences. It's all
Yeah.
good, you know.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're another one down till. Hopefully, catch us again next time on Saturday. Episodes 25, 24, and 25 will be up tomorrow. Again, this is the flip side with Jay and Noel. My name is Jay.
My name is Noel.
We'll catch you later.
On the flip side,
Take it easy, guys.
be nice to waiters
Yeah, I'll call
and
you.
customer service.
All right.
All right.
Catch us on the next episode on the flip side with Jay and Noel. New episodes uploaded on Wednesdays and Saturdays.